Japanese sports. There's plenty of them. They all range from infamous sumo wrestling to internationally recognized sports such as baseball, none of which are short of amazing.
Sumo wrestling is one of the oldest sports still played today, with cave paintings depicting the sport from ancient times, literally showing the sport to be old as dirt. Nowadays, the main governing body of sumo wrestling is the Japanese Sumo Association. It holds 6 tournaments each year, with 3 in Tokyo, 1 in Osaka, 1 in Nagoya, and 1 in Fukuoka. Sumo rules and traditions come from Shinto religious beliefs, and matches were originally held to entertain Shinto deities. Typically, matches take place in arenas that have some sort of Shinto shrine on the inside. Under the shrine roof is a sumo ring, called the doyo. The rules are simple. If you fall in the ring, letting any part of your body besides the sole of your feet touch the ground, or you're thrown out of the ring, then you are out. The trick is that there are no weight classes in sumo, so you may be pinned up against someone twice your size. This is why training involves bulking up on a diet of chenko nabe, beer, and rice. The prime weight for a sumo wrestler is considered to be 400 to 600 pounds, a size that requires roughly 20,000 calories a day. While the size is quite large and cumbersome, they train rigorously and are quite strong. All wrestlers are ranked in the system called the Benzuke. The system is divided into tiers, with the top tier being the goal of every sumotori. This tier is known as the Makuchi, and the number 1 sumotori known as the Yokozuna. Scoring is based off wins and losses, with a win being +1 and a loss being -1. When going to watch a tournament, there are generally 3 areas where you can watch the matches: box seats, balcony, and ringside. Ringside is usually the most expensive, but also the most dangerous, due to the occasional sumotori entering the stands. Other sumo-related events are generally held in the Tokyo Rugoku area. Here, there are many restaurants to serve chenko nabe, museums with old sumo and Shinto relics, and wrestlers' stables. Baseball came to Japan through a man named Horace Wilson in the year 1872, bringing rise to Yakkyu as a traditional Japanese sport. Soon after its founding, the Shimbashi Athletic Club was created, becoming the first official baseball team in Japan. Unlike teams in the United States, the teams are owned by corporations, not the governing Nippon Professional Baseball League. There are many other differences, including the use of smaller fields, a smaller, harder baseball, and rules against the number of foreigners allowed to play. In general, the rules of the game are essentially the same, except that games are allowed to end in a tie. When announcers are describing the game, many English words are used, just with the usual Japanese pronunciation. Examples include fauru and straiku.
Kendo, meaning way of the sword, is a modern Japanese sports martial art, which descended from the traditional swordsmanship kenjutsu and uses bamboo swords called shinai and protective armor called bogu. Today, it is widely practiced within Japan and many other nations across the world. Kendo is a physically and mentally challenging activity that combines martial arts practices and values with sports-like strenuous physical activity. Practitioners of Kendo are called kendoka, meaning someone who practices Kendo, or occasionally kenshi, meaning swordsman. The old term kendoist is sometimes used as well. Kendo is a way to discipline the human character through the application of the principles of the katana. Katana were one of the traditionally made Japanese swords that were worn by the samurai class of feudal Japan, also commonly referred to as the samurai sword in the modern-day world. They are very sharp and potent, so do be careful if you ever come across a beautiful weapon. Kendo is generally practiced wearing a traditional Japanese style of clothing, protective armor, and using 1 or 2 shinais. Kendo training is quite noisy in comparison to some other martial arts or sports. This is because kendoka use a shout to express their fighting spirit when striking. Additionally, kendoka execute fumi komiashi, an action similar to a stomp of the front foot when making a strike. Modern kendo techniques comprise both strikes and thrusts. Strikes are only made towards specified target areas on the wrist, head, or body, all of which are protected by armor. In kendo, any point taken is called ippon, which means 1 point. They come in 4 varieties: menuchi, koteuchi, douchi, and tsuki. Menuchi strikes to the head, koteuchi strikes to the forearms, douchi blow to the side of the torso, and tsuki a thrust to the neck protector. Striking any of these targets correctly results in an ippon or 1 point. However, in order to gain these points properly, 3 elements must be met: ki, ken, and tai. Ki demonstrates fullness of spirit, ken meaning striking the target accurately with the sword, and tai which states that the swordsman maintained proper posture. Only when these requirements are met will a swordsman be awarded with ippon. Japan is one of the most successful football teams in Asia, having qualified for the last 5 consecutive FIFA World Cups with those second round advancements in 2002 and 2010, and having won the AFC Asian Cup a record 4 times in 1992, 2000, 2004, and 2011. The nation's first ever FIFA World Cup appearance was in 1998, where they lost all 3 matches. 4 years later, Japan co-hosted the 2002 FIFA World Cup with South Korea. Japanese national team supporters are known for chanting Nippon Ole, Nippon meaning Japan, at home matches. The Japanese soccer team mascots are Karape and Karada. They are Yata Garasu, which are three-legged crow wearing the Japanese national football team uniform. Each year when a new kit is launched, the mascots change uniforms. Japan's current kit is provided by Adidas. Japan uses blue and white rather than red and white due to a superstition. Also, the Japanese Football Association logo has some yellow. It represents the fair play and honesty in Japanese tradition, all surrounding by blue on the jersey that means youth in Japanese tradition. That also explains the colors of the uniform, which could be translated as the fair play purpose supported on the power of youth. Japan has one of the highest sponsorships incomes for a national squad. Primary sponsors include but not limited to Adidas, Kirin Mitsui Sumitomo Insurance, Sony, Asahi Shimbun, Konami, Mizuho Financial, and Audi. There are more unmentioned sports that are played in the Japanese culture such as figure skating, basketball, judo, and many more. However, we hope this video gave you a better insight of the Japanese culture.